That is the Bitcoin chart, and that's just the confirmation that Bitcoin is holding just above $50,000, $50,340. That's not the important chart today. The important chart is this chart over here. We're going to be talking about this chart here, which talks about specifically the market cap when you exclude Bitcoin. So it's the market cap of altcoins, and what you can see is that this market cap is about to break out to all-time highs. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. But hold on. Today is the most important show that we're going to do in a long time. Certainly the most important show that I've done in a hell of a long time, because two things are happening. Two massive things are happening, and they're happening at once, and you need to know exactly what's happening, because if you can identify what's happening and you can trade on it, you will make life-changing money. And if not, you're not going to make life-changing money. So today is the biggest show that I have done this year. That is for sure. So stay tuned until the end, because I'm going to talk to you about the first thing, then I'm going to talk to you about the second thing, and then we're going to give away money. So it's going to be a huge show. So stay tuned until the end. Got that? Then let's get the show on the road. What do you say? All right, welcome back, Banter fam. I'm Crypto Man Ran. I'm here at least twice a day. I'm starting to feel better now, so I will be here much more now that I'm starting to feel better. And there's a lot happening on the markets. If you're new to our channel, welcome. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the Banter community. At least 2 streams every day. One of them in the morning with Shaldino the Sniper, who told me that he had a dream about his XRP position. He took a nap. Hold on, let's get him on the stream. You did what? You took a nap and then?
I don't know, and I got woken up twice just to be reminded for time for the show, and I had another dream of XRP and another dream. So I had 3 dreams of XRP. I'm still trying to figure out what it means. Do I have too much or do I not have enough? No idea.
What's the price of XRP doing?
It's looking good. You know, XRP, let's get into our coin panel and let's show you. Yeah, look at VET, guys. VET has taken off since this morning's call. It's looking good. VET is looking good. XRP, so chart wise, you know, it's looking fantastic. Just broken out a daily wedge.
No
$2, $3.
No news on XRP yet. That's the main thing. No news on XRP yet.
There's no volume. Volume is coming. Volume is coming.
All right, so welcome back, guys. We're here twice a day, every single day, charting in the mornings, fundamentals in the afternoon. Sometimes we do a micro dose at night, which is exactly that. It's your 10-minute dose of crypto content with absolutely no side effects. It's made for people on the move. We're not going to do any of those today because I'm not feeling great. I'm recovering from COVID. In fact, I may be over COVID. Who knows? I do want to talk to you today about the biggest thing that's happening. 2 things are happening at the same time. And when you combine them, and you realize what's happening, you can realize that we're going to make, or you can make absolutely life-changing money, but not even life-changing money. It's probably a once-in-a-generation opportunity to make this kind of money. And I'm going to go beyond that. I'm going to say, I don't even think looking at historically, if we look historically at other generations, I don't know if other generations had the opportunity to make this kind of money. So, and I don't mean, I'm talking to you about what I've just realized is the biggest thing that I've ever realized in my life about what's about to happen. Now, I know what you're saying. You're probably saying, okay, he's being dramatic. He's being dramatic. You know, run can sometimes get dramatic. I know that's what you're thinking. But maybe let me walk you guys through what I see. Let me walk you guys through what I'm seeing happening right now. And then what you should do then is at the end, I'll ask you guys the question and then tell me, do you think I'm actually being dramatic or whether I'm not being dramatic, and maybe there is something to what I'm saying here today. Because I can be dramatic sometimes, but I don't know if I'm being dramatic now. I'm actually just going to show you guys the facts, the stats. There's nothing more to it, just facts and stats. When you look at things with facts and stats, then I don't know if you can be dramatic. So I'm going to ask you later whether you think I'm being dramatic about these two things that are happening, or whether it is indeed the biggest opportunity of our generation and also any generation that I know to have made life-changing money. And the thing is that we don't actually have much time. So the problem here is you don't actually have much time. So if you want to get all this information, subscribe to our channel, like this video, also like this video because I'm going to give away money at the end of the show. I'm also going to give away NFTs. We have a new NFT. We have a new NFT which we're going to give away. Remember pudgy penguins, the ones that like Fred's pudgy penguins. It's like the penguin collection of NFTs, right? Well, someone's created an NFT called Penguin Bottoms because the penguins are like half penguins. They're not really penguins, they're half penguins. So someone has created a thing called Penguin Bottoms. And we're going to give away the first 10, number 1 to 10 of the Penguin Bottoms. So if you have a penguin and then you have a bottom, you have a full penguin as opposed to like a half a penguin. They have to go on a penguin. Well, if you don't own a penguin, you can sell it to someone who does have a penguin. And the only 8,500 of these half penguin bottoms, and there's 8,888 penguins. So it means that a whole lot of penguins are going to walk around without pants.
I might buy 3 for my penguins.
You're going to buy 3 for your penguins?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you can buy 3 for your penguins. So we are going to give that away. We're also going to give away a matrix swap. But anyway, let's get into the big story of the day today. And that is what I said to you, is what I think is the biggest opportunity of our entire lives to make. Why is this on when I'm talking? I think Fred smoked a joint before the show. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about these two things that are happening. Now, it's important that you understand both and that you act like you understand both, because if you only act on one, then you may make life-changing money. And if you act on both, then you also keep the life-changing money. So you got to make life-changing money and you got to keep life-changing money. That's basically how it works, right? It's not about making money, it's about making it and then keeping it. Because it's pointless that you make a whole lot of money and then you don't actually hold on to it. That's pointless. We don't want that. So the two things that are happening, one of them is happening on altcoins and one of them is happening on Bitcoin. And I know most channels would start off and talk about the one that's happening on Bitcoin. But because I know that we're all altcoin degens, I'm going to start off with a thing with this altcoin thing. And the altcoin thing is actually a very simple thing. And that is, I said to you guys yesterday that we had entered altcoin season. I said to you the 1st of September was the change of seasons. We saw that with the ETH BTC breakout. And I said that what's happened is that we've actually really started altcoin season. And if Bitcoin continues to be stable and continues to grow as per the stock to flow model or any other model that's now showing that we're getting closer to a Bitcoin that's going to go to 100,000 or 130,000 by the end of the year. And you heard Burb yesterday saying that Ethereum can go to $15,000 or $20,000 by the end of the year. Then I think that we're going into this crazy altcoin super cycle. Now, I know you've heard everyone talking about this crazy altcoin super cycle. I get it. I know you've heard this, but it's not what you think. And I remember in September 2017, thinking to myself that the price of alts was very high and that these alts had done these amazing returns and that the price was ridiculously high. And I want to show you what happened to people who thought that in 2017. And the way to do it is we call up a chart, and this chart is what they call the total 2. So I'm going to actually zoom in a little bit for you guys. Total 2 is the crypto market cap of altcoins. It's when you take out Bitcoin and you only have the market cap of altcoins. And I'm going to take you back to 2017. So this is 2017. And we're going to talk about exactly what happened in 2017. Remember I said to you, you had the market going up and then the market came down in September. right? You can see the market came up down in September. But what I want you to look at is before the run in 2017, if you look at the total market cap of the altcoins, the total market cap of the altcoins was about $2 billion or even $1 billion. The total market cap was $1 billion. And then as you went into the first leg of the altcoin season, that went up to $75 billion or $76 billion. And then we corrected and we went back down to about $40 billion. That was the total market cap of the altcoins in the first run of 2017. And if you look at that first run in 2017, that first run looks like an insane altcoin season. It started off with a $1 billion market cap for altcoins. Then the market cap went all the way up 80x to 80 billion. And then it came down to 40 billion. And then what happened was the total market cap went to about 500 billion, 473 billion. Why am I showing you this? Because if the patterns are playing out like we think, like 2017 and 2013, where there's one run up and then one correction, and then the big run up happens towards the end of the year. And if you think about Plan B's stock to flow model, and if you think about all the other models that are calling for $100,000 Bitcoin or $150,000 Bitcoin, they're all talking about this kind of pattern. And I remind you, in 2017, we started off with a $1 billion market cap or a $2 billion market cap. We went up to an $80 billion market cap, which was a 40x or an 80x. And then we corrected. We had a 50 or 60% correction, and we thought it was over. And September was quite a tough month. And then what you can see is we still, from this point on, did another 10x in the alt season in 2017. So from bottom to top, we did a 480x on altcoins in 2017. I know that sounds absolutely insane, but it's actually not as insane as it sounds. And I want to show you some of the tokens that flew in 2017, just to show you how insane the 2017 correction was. So these are currencies that crushed it in 2017. You had Verge, XVG, which went up 1.6 million%. You had Einsteinium, which went up 262,195%. And you had Redcoin, which went up 132,712%. Those are not numbers which I can fathom. I can't wrap my head around those kind of returns. Let me show you some other returns, things that I actually at some point invested in. So this is Neo. You know the blockchain Neo, the Chinese blockchain, which is still around, called Neo. If you look at 2016, the price of Neo was about 8 cents. Actually, it was less. It was called Ant shares before that, and the price of Ant shares was like under 2 cents. And Neo went from 7 cents all the way to a high. All this happened in 2017, a high of, here we go, $200. So it went from 7 cents to $200. And I remember I was actually invested in this along the way. And that wasn't the only one that went up as much as that. Let's take an example of one of them that we actually know. And we look at Ethereum. And Ethereum was, let me try to zoom in for you guys. But Ethereum actually did its ICO in 2017. And it went from, let me just reset that. So Ethereum went from about $3 when it first got listed. Okay, and it went all the way to about $1,400 from $3. Those are the kind of returns that we can get if we get a real altcoin super cycle. Those are the kind of returns that we're talking about. So when people talk about an altcoin super cycle, we're not talking about altcoins going up 5x, 6x, 7x. We could have a super cycle where altcoins do 10,000x, 8,000x. We're talking about those kind of returns. Those are not returns that you and I can imagine. And that is what I'm saying to you guys. If we look at where we are today, if we look at the total market cap, excluding BTC, and we look at, again, we're looking at 2017 here, we are probably about here. Okay, at this point, the market cap was about 40 billion, and the total market cap went up about 10x. But the total market cap is not what matters here. What matters is the market cap of the individual tokens, the ones that succeeded and the ones that continued. And if you take Ethereum, as I showed you, was at about $3, and if you held Ethereum, you would have done yourself 1,000x. Now, if we look at this little piece over here of the chart, this is just the beginning of the run. So I'm going to compare it again. We are here. If we zoom out, that is what can happen if we get into an altcoin supercycle. This is what happens. So we're going to get into this insane, maybe, potentially, I'm not saying it's going to happen, I'm saying it could happen. And if it does happen right now, there's a much bigger chance that it's going to happen. I want to just see if I've got any other coins to show you guys. There's a much bigger chance that it's going to happen right now, because remember in 2017, everything here was very speculative. People didn't yet believe in blockchain technology. Everything was a huge speculation. Now times are different. Much more money is flowing into blockchain. In fact, a lot of money is flowing into blockchain from institutions, from private investors. If you're watching this NFT mania craze of people buying rocks for $2 and $3 million, you'll realize that a lot of money is actually starting to flow into crypto. And that's the next point that I want to talk to you guys about. The first thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about was this potential for this altcoin supercycle. And if we do get this altcoin supercycle, and I'm not saying we will, I'm saying I think we will. That's my thesis, is that we're about to hit an altcoin supercycle. We're going to talk to Scott Melker because I want to hear what his thesis is. But my thesis is that we're about to hit this altcoin supercycle. And if we do, I think that we can expect the market cap of alts to at least 5x, like they did in 2017, because there is so much money coming into crypto right now. Where is this money coming from? Why is there so much money coming into crypto? Why is there so much money coming into crypto right now? The answer is very simple, and the penny dropped for me when I was speaking to a friend of mine last night. My friend is an asset manager. And the last time we spoke, I asked him, how's it going? And he said, I've got $50 million under management, and this was like 3 years ago. And we spoke again last night. He said to me, I've got $1.2 billion under management, and I actually have to start returning money to my customers because I've actually got nowhere to invest it. And that got me thinking about what is actually going on in the world. And that brought me to my second realization. There is a lot of money right now moving into crypto. But actually, there is something much bigger than what we're seeing in the crypto market at play. We're seeing the crypto market. That's the bubble in which we live. But there's something much bigger happening at the moment. And that is that, in fact, play the video and then I'll tell the guys what I think it is.
So I'm always fake flexing, huh? I just got one question for all my haters at home. Where am I? And where are you? I'm on Rodeo Drive, shopping for a Rolls Royce with a $600 beanie, $500 belt, $200 Nike Air Maxes. And don't let me remind you about my 14 bank accounts. Where am I? And where are you?
So, yeah, I know it's funny, but it's actually not really that funny because the guy's flexing. And right now, it seems like everybody is flexing. I don't know if you've noticed, but wherever you go now, people are flexing. People are buying NFT rocks. People are buying CryptoPunks for $11 million, and they're buying JPEGs of rocks. What is this mania all about? It's all about flexing. It's all about the fact that people are drowning in money and they have no idea what to do with the money, which is kind of strange because we've just come out of probably the worst pandemic in history, or certainly in our history, and the worst economic crisis in our history. But people are drowning in money. And the reason why people are drowning in money is because of all the money printing. So we had all the money printing. We've spoken about this a million times before. The government did two things which created so much money that people are now starting to drown in money, and they have no idea what to do with the money. So what are they doing with the money? They're starting to flex. And when I say flex, they started to make so much money that they don't actually know what to do with it. They're starting to buy shit that they don't need. They're starting to buy rocks for millions of dollars. This is the government, the money chart, the money supply chart that shows how much money the governments have been printing. Where has that money gone? Well, it split society into two parts. The have-nots. The have-nots are still have-nots. The have-nots are still struggling. They use their stimulus checks to buy food. They still have nots. They relied on government subsidies, and some of them couldn't even pay their rents. But then you've got another class of the haves. And I don't know about you, but if I were to be critical about the people around me and possibly the people around you, all my friends and possibly everyone that I know has more money now than they've ever had. They seem to have money because the government printed a whole lot of money. The people that had put the money in the stock markets. The stock markets ran to all-time highs because this money was being printed, and everyone just seems to have a lot more money than they had a year ago. Unless you're in the real have-nots, look around you and tell me that people don't have more money now than they had a year ago. The government printed so much money and people invested this money into the stock market, and the stock market doubled, and the crypto markets doubled and quadrupled and 10x'd, and people just started to make more and more and more money. And at the same time, they couldn't leave their houses. So they couldn't spend the money on yachts and fancy trips where they used to spend their money. And so now what you've got is you've got people drowning in money. And prices haven't gone up fast enough to meet this excessive demand for this money. But what you can see is you can see the numbers. You can see the headlines. You can see that luxury cars are selling more than they've ever sold after the worst economic crisis in history. Bentley says it recorded the biggest sales in 101 years of the brand's existence, in a year where we are coming out of the worst economic disaster of our generation. Prada sales have gone up to levels higher than they were before the COVID pandemic. LVMH, Louis Vuitton, says exactly the same. People are drowning in money. And no matter how much they are raising prices, people don't know what to do with the money. And that's what I wanted to show you guys today. And the reason why I wanted to show you guys this today is because yesterday I saw a crazy price prediction on Bitcoin. And the price prediction was that one Bitcoin may soon be worth $1 billion. Now, initially, when you read that, you say to yourself, hold on a second. $1 billion for a Bitcoin? Bullshit. What you're not taking into account is the fact that money is devaluing so quickly. And what Fidelity, I mean, this is Fidelity that are saying this. What Fidelity are saying, they are taking the price of Bitcoin on a stock to flow model, but then they're saying, look, money is going to devalue so much that actually money is not going to be worth anything. And so what's worth $1 million today, by 2038, is going to be worth $1 billion. So why do I think that when you combine number one and number two, you get the most insane opportunity of your life, but only if you know how to operate one and two together? Let me tell you why. If you buy number one, and number one is, let me remind you that we're going into this altcoin super cycle, this crazy altcoin super cycle that is going to take us up. I don't know, maybe we're going to see the same kind of results that we saw in 2017. Then this may be your one opportunity to make insane money relative to US dollars. That's the first opportunity to make this generational wealth. The second opportunity to make this generational wealth is to take your profits and get your profits the fuck out of US dollars. Because if you keep your money in US dollars, if you take the profits that you make and you put those profits into US dollars, the US dollar is going to devalue itself. And what is worth 1 million today may actually be worth 1 billion in 2038. And that is what Fidelity says, not what Run is saying. Fidelity are the ones that revised their thing, and they said, they look at Metcalfe's law and they look at everything else, and they're saying, his own demand model grows, blah, 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 while stock to flow model increases the halvening. I've got to find this one part for you. In 20 years, it may be that 1 billion is what 1 million is considered currently. Okay, so you see they are forecasting on the dollar declining so much. In 20 years, thus it may be 1 billion, thus it may be that 1 billion is what 1 million is considered today. Now, 20 years is not a long time. 20 years for currency to devalue from 1 million to 1 billion is not a long time. And that brings me to the second part. There is a good chance that we're going into this altcoin super cycle. And if we are going into the altcoin super cycle, keep watching, keep learning, keep doing what you're doing, because you will make life-changing money. I promise you that. We've done it so far, we'll continue to do it. But that's only making life-changing money. The next part of it is that you have to keep the life-changing money. And if you keep the life-changing money in fiat, and you have $1 million of fiat, that $1 million is going to be worth shit. So even if you land up making money and taking profits into fiat, and you hold the fiat and you've got nothing to do with the fiat because you can't put it into a bank account because you're going to get zero interest, then effectively you're going to destroy all the gains that you made in this altcoin season. What you need to do is you need to take your profits into Bitcoin. You need to take some profits to pay your living expenses for a year, for 12 months, for 3 months, for whatever else. I don't know what your other income sources are, but make sure that if we do go into a Bitcoin bear market, you can survive the bear market in USD. But the rest of your money, you need to be putting into Bitcoin. That way, you will make life-changing money in the altcoin season. And this altcoin season is going to be insane because everyone has so much more money and people are willing to flex. They're willing to buy $5 million rocks and $3 million rocks. Now there's an invisible rock because there's just so much money. So this altcoin cycle may be absolutely fucking absurd and may run for much longer than you think. But the more important thing is that when you take your profits and you put your profits into Bitcoin, and then what is considered 1 million in Bitcoin today may actually be 1 billion in 20 years' time. And if we're not planning to live 20 years, or if you're not planning to be around for 20 years, then take 10 years, take 5 years. But you see the pattern. And that's what I wanted to say to you guys today. So I don't know, you tell me, was I being dramatic? Like when I said to you, two things have hit me. One was this altcoin cycle, and two is that if I actually just put my profits into Bitcoin, I'm going to exponentially increase my wealth just by doing that. So I've got like this double whammy. I don't know, you tell me. Is it the most important show that we've ever done? Was I being dramatic? Tell me in the comments. I don't know. You need to tell me. I don't think I was. Was I being dramatic? I'm just looking at old numbers. It's the old charts. It's the old charts. And the facts. I don't know. Let's see what Scott Melker thinks. Let's get Scott. Scott, what do you think?
I agree with everything you said. I agree with everything you said. And I actually was just a message Fred saying that RAM is on fire right now. I loved every bit of that. It's the first time I've sat and watched someone for 20 minutes, but I loved all of it.
Thank you, my friend. So are you of the opinion that we are now going into this like insane alt season, like this alt season super cycle?
I certainly think it's possible for all the reasons that you said. And as you touched on, I don't know if it's a 10x, it's a 100x, it's a 2x. I don't know which coins are going to do it, but it certainly feels like the NFT hype and the craze that we're seeing is all the former altcoin and Bitcoin leverage traders, like you said, flexing their new JPEGs. That's going to pop. I'm not saying that those NFTs won't be worth something, but all of those people at heart are altcoin and Bitcoin traders. They're coming back. They're going to start flowing that money right back into altcoins, and we're going to see an absolutely massive boom.
So I think that the reason why NFTs are running is because we just don't know what to do with our money. I think, Arthur Hayes wrote a blog about it, and he said in his blog, it's the ultimate flex. And the ultimate flex is I can own a rock, a picture of a rock that costs $1 million. And the even more ultimate flex is when it goes down to zero and I actually don't care about it. And that's the ultimate flex. That's to show people how rich I am.
Yeah, I think that is what's different this time. We've seen these massive alt cycles where retail comes in and they pump all their money in. It's their life savings, and then they see it go down to zero, and it's depressing. The people who are going to lose their money, as you said, on NFTs are so rich it doesn't matter. And that's where the flex comes. Your average person can't get in on this NFT craze and lose all of their money, right? Because the prices are so high that it's prohibitive. So I 100% agree with you. I think that it's the ultimate flex for them. But we all know a few of these projects, the truly scarce ones, the ones that have been around for a long time, may retain their value. But most of it are just stupid pictures of animals that are going to zero. And that's fine.
Okay, if the NFT bubble collapses, if it pops, if the NFT craze goes to zero, does it take down the crypto market with it? Do people then go, hold on, wait, maybe we don't need Ethereum, or, Ethereum's not being that much used, or EIP 1559 is not burning as much Ethereum?
I don't think so at all. In fact, I think that it's sort of separated itself completely. We have, celebrities and companies interested in it that otherwise probably would not have been interested in crypto. And I think that NFTs are different enough from the use case of Bitcoin and Ethereum that it's going to really have very little effect on the market. In fact, I think if people start dumping their NFTs and start to get scared, they'll be pouring their money back into Ethereum, and it'll probably go up.
That's interesting. So basically guys are going, wow, I'm going to get out of my rocks. Where am I going to put the money? I'm putting the money back into ETH. I'm putting the money back into Bitcoin.
Yeah, everybody, I believe, who's really, really heavily investing in NFTs is still a Bitcoiner and an Ethereum believer at heart. And I think that that's where the money flows back into, as you touched on so many times there. Nobody wants to go back to dollars. Nobody's going to sell their NFTs so they can hold $1 million in cash, right? They're going to go back into Bitcoin. They're going to go back into Ethereum. This community is going to stop losing its mind over NFTs to some degree, and we're going to see the money flow back where it belongs.
I want to get Fred here. Fred, I want to ask you a question. If you sell your penguins, are you putting the money into USDT? Are you putting the money into Bitcoin, into Ethereum? Like when you sell your penguins, where would you put the money?
I'll probably move it back into. Am I on? Yeah, I'm on. I'll probably move it. Hey, what's up, Scott? How you, bro?
What's up, man?
I would probably move it back into ETH. Definitely not USDC. I think what it's kind of been is, as much as I like to claim this thing as, as an NFT trader, it's actually just been a great store of value in terms of like putting in a fraction of an ETH and pulling out a few Ethereum a few weeks later. So it's really just a mechanism for me to make more ETH. And that's where it kind of goes into my strategy.
Yeah, I think that's what Scott was saying.
Right, but that's a high stakes game of hot potato, right? It's who's going to be holding that NFT last before it crashes. You have no intention of holding that forever. There are people who are buying punks because maybe they want to hold them forever, but most of the NFTs people are buying, it's strictly a trade, right? It's I'm getting it while it's hot. I'm hoping I can sell it to somebody quickly for a lot more, and then I'm done with it and never thinking about it again. That is not a lasting trend.
Scott, there's been all these predictions by Plan B. I know you interviewed Plan B. You were lucky enough, good enough to get him onto your stream. And if anybody hasn't watched that, go and watch it. It's a timeless piece. It's one of those timeless pieces that's on Scott's channel. Do you buy this thesis that Bitcoin goes to 135,000, maybe 200,000 in December?
First, I want to say I think my favorite interview on my channel is with you, and it was nice to get you on the other side of the camera for once so that you weren't the one asking the question. So everybody should check that out first. But yeah, I believe that that's inevitable. Not only inevitable, I think that that's underwhelming, to be quite honest. I mean, we saw Bitcoin go from $3,800 in March of 2020 to $65,000 14 months later, right? You're talking about over a 10x, 12, 13, 14, 15x Bitcoin could do in a year. To get to 135,000 from here is less than a 3x. It's nothing for Bitcoin. Anybody who's been here and sees 200% gains year over year in Bitcoin, it's easy to get caught up in the fact that, oh my God, that means we'd have to go up another $90,000. It feels like this massively huge number. But if you say we just need to double or triple, that's really easy for Bitcoin, especially with the institutional money we're seeing flow in. I mean, institutions are net long now. Bitcoin for the first time since April have, I believe, $167 million long on Bitcoin. It's really starting to just happen again now. I think people are convinced that the bottom is in. I think that that's a very, very conservative estimate to think we go into the low hundreds.
I saw today that Franklin Templeton, they're one of the biggest asset managers in the world. How much they manage? 11 trillion or something?
1.5.
1.5 trillion?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was looking at this job spec that they've got here, and they specifically say they're looking for a crypto trader and a researcher to trade most liquid, listed, and tradable crypto assets, Bitcoin, ETH, etc. They're not saying Bitcoin. Like, institutions are now not saying Bitcoin. They're saying most liquid, listed, tradable crypto assets, Bitcoin, ETH, etc. That's what they're talking about now. So this narrative of institutions are coming into Bitcoin seems to have changed into institutions are coming into crypto.
100%. Coinbase very clearly said we're putting $500 million of our treasury into crypto, right? And they were very, very careful not to say Bitcoin, I believe, and be non-specific. And Coinbase trading volumes in the second quarter, Ethereum had higher trading volume than Bitcoin, right? That was, to me, the most astounding part of their Q2 earnings. I interviewed James Putra from TradeStation yesterday for a crypto festival, and he said, I believe that 60% of their crypto trading volume was Ethereum right now. So Ethereum clearly has a lot more trading volume and interest, whether that's institutional, large retail. But to his opinion, he thought it was the hedge funds and the smaller crypto-based institutions that were driving it, which means that inevitably the big boys follow.
Yeah. So, and Coinbase is the home of all the institutional traders. Coinbase is that home. So I guess that's what's going to happen. Okay. So altcoin time, DGen time. We do DGen here. We don't hold you to this. We DGens. We are DGens. We're an altcoin channel. We're not a Bitcoin first channel. We're an altcoin channel. Favorite altcoins right now?
Listen, I missed the Axie Infinity craze. I think that I'm a bit of a boomer and maybe didn't quite understand gaming, but I think that there are opportunities like Star Atlas, which is coming now probably in that space that will absolutely go nuts. I think on the lower cap side, I'd be looking at that. But right now, I think you'd be really remiss not to have some money in all of the Ethereum competitors, all of the layer ones, right? It's obvious, it's boring, but if you've seen what's been happening, I think you're nuts if you don't have money in Solana, Polkadot, Avalanche, Elrond, basically all the Ethereum killers, even maybe Cardano. I don't know. We'll see what happens with them. But, I think that that's been a pretty heavy focus for me, is just to buy dips on all of those coins, because they are all going to find their niche in the future, and then they'll be interoperable, right? The notion of an Ethereum killer at this point, I think, is nonsense. I don't think it's going to be one size fits all. I don't think Ethereum can do everything. I don't think any of these individual chains can do everything. So they'll be interoperable. They'll find their niche, and you want to be invested in all of them, in my opinion.
You know what my thesis there was? I think that the world realized just how fast blockchain adoption could happen. And what they realized is, we've only had two experiments. One of them was NFTs and one of them was DeFi. And those basically destroyed Ethereum. And so basically what the world has realized is, said, hold on, if this is what blockchain can do with two successful experiments, then no matter how many upgrades Ethereum has, Ethereum's never going to be enough. In fact, Ethereum and Cardano are never going to be enough. In fact, Ethereum, Cardano, and Solana are never going to be enough. And so they're saying we need a whole lot of these layer ones. And that's why you got things like AVAX. You've got all of a sudden woke up Solana, all of a sudden woke up Cardano. It hasn't even got smart contracts, and today hit $100 billion market cap. So I think the world realized just how big this blockchain adoption was going to be. And there are layer ones that haven't run as much. Like I looked the other day at Algorand. Algorand, it's not. I'm not the biggest Algorand fan, but it has lagged the rest of the market.
Yeah, it absolutely has. I think Polkadot has also lagged the rest of the market, to be quite honest, for seeing the potential of it and what we've been seeing happening. Just get some money into them, right? I mean, if you buy a bid of 10 of them, one of them is going to compensate, even if the other 9 went down. But to your point, if we believe that blockchain technology will be the underlying tech of almost everything, and that has nothing to do with whether the coins succeed or what happens with Bitcoin or what happens with Ethereum. If we believe that the way you use your cell phone, you don't think about how your cell phone use the internet, you don't think about how your internet works. If we believe that that will be the case with blockchain, it'll be underlying everything. These are all going to be valuable blockchains. And like you said, one of them is never going to be able to do all of that. Each one is going to find its niche, and they're going to absolutely moon.
Yeah, I found this article about, you mentioned Polkadot. I found this article today on investing.com. 3 reasons why Polkadot could get to all-time high. Well, it talks about the parachains. It talks about the charts of Polkadot. So, again, just reaffirming what you said. Before we go, just talk about taking profits. So, there's always the being prudent and taking profits into USD and using or having enough USD to be able to cover the bills. But you don't want to have your money in USD, because if you do, your money is going to devalue faster than we saw over there. What's your favorite strategy for breaking up what you take into USD and what you take into Bitcoin?
I used to take a lot more into USD in the 2017, 18, 19 era because there weren't better options. Now I primarily take profit, obviously, into Bitcoin. I'm always stacking sats. But the thing that's been a huge life changer for me is the ability to gain yield on USDC and stable coins, right? So I don't feel so bad taking profit into USDC, parking it on Voyager and earning 10% a year, compounding monthly on that. So I think that at least offsets a bit of the effects of inflation. Obviously, earning 10% a year, you should be at least not losing money on your dollars in that context. But that said, you can also park your Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other coins on those platforms and earn yield on those, which are actually gaining against the dollar. So my primary strategy is to go into Bitcoin. I basically just keep as many dollars as I need to have fun and live my life, as you said. So I think it is very important, though, always take profits. I don't sell my Bitcoin because I believe that that's my savings account. I'm not taking profits on my savings account. But on everything else, if I see something pop 10x, 20x, 1x, 2x, I'm always scaling out.
So I think for me, I try and put like maybe 6 months to a year's worth of USD into a USD earning account. I use Anchor Protocol. I get 20% on Anchor Protocol. I mean, there are others. You pick your risk flavor. And then the rest I put into my HODL portfolio. I think my HODL portfolio is here, which I'll just show the guys. It's primarily Bitcoin. Is the HODL portfolio anywhere up there? It's primarily Bitcoin, but we have got a whole lot of other coins. But the idea, I think, is to take as much profits as you need into USD, put that into an interest-bearing account, draw down on it when you need to use the cash, and the rest of it keep into Bitcoin. And that way you've always got some exposure to the market, and you've run away from the dollar, which is it's the hot potato. You want to talk about the real hot potato? It's the dollar. You don't want to be holding the US dollar.
I agree, but I think also, like, for me, maybe I'm a bit older and I've been around a lot longer. I'm not going all into Bitcoin. I still buy real estate and other hard assets. I still buy stocks as well, but either way, you just want to get out of dollars.
Yeah. I think if you're going to invest into assets, I think if you're going to invest into assets. But for me, my primary store of value, bar none, is Bitcoin. That's what my HODL portfolio looks like. My primary store of value is Bitcoin. That's what it is. Brother man, thank you. Thank you for so coming on. Yeah, guys, I'm a big fan of Scott's channel. I actually was interviewed on Scott's channel. The biggest names in the industry, all on Scott's channel. There is a link in the description below. So you just have to one click, go to Scott's channel, check it out. He does a daily show now, right?
Almost sometimes 2 times a day, but there's at least 2 pieces of content on my channel every single day.
At least 2 pieces.
And a big giveaway right now. I'm giving away $5,000.
Amazing. Brother man, thank you so much for coming on. Love having you on the channel, brother. Thank you. All righty. All right, so do we have 5,000 likes? Yes or no? Do we give away? We do. We have 5,000 likes. Sheldina, we have 5,000 likes.
Amazing. It's nice to see that everyone's playing their part now. Fantastic.
What are you watching here? Let's just see what Sheldon's watching. Watching.
I'm
Bitcoin.
just watching Bitcoin. I'm just watching the whole market. I'm
Boring.
actually watching the show. I'm watching the show.
Ah, that's good. Good answer. All right, let's give away some matrix swap and let's give away some penguins. Let's give away some penguin pants. Okay, penguin pants penguin bottoms. That's what it's called. Penguin bottoms. Go and check it out. They're minting them now. Penguinbottoms.com.
There's one matrix.
Okay, so Jiroon gets a matrix NFT pill. Let's give away another one with $200 pre-IDO. Then Chatig gets number 1. Penguin bottoms number 1. Chatig 2011 gets penguin bottom number 1. Gregory Stoffel gets matrix. Okay, another matrix, $200 matrix. Pre-IDO, you guys are going to do so well. And then Cindy218 gets penguin bottoms number 2. Amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, that's it for today. We can't give away all the money in one day. Okay, so let me know if you guys think I was dramatic in the beginning or whether it was just facts. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Until then, trade well, my friends. Have fun. I mean, was I being dramatic?
Amazing show, buddy. Fantastic.
But was it dramatic? I mean, because people sometimes sound...
How can something be dramatic if it's all facts and off of history?
Yeah, it hit me like that.
Just whole sucking. Yeah.
Ran, I think you've been sick for a while. You're just overly emotional and very dramatic at the moment. So we'll
Did
check in
Fred
with
get
you
into
next
my
week.
stash there, Ran?
Yeah, Fred has to be involved here. He was lagging today on the driving of the show. It's been a disaster.
That was Luke.
Oh, was that Luke? That Luke's our new producer. Gosh, anything to DJ into? Oh, donkeys at 70 cents.
I'm buying more Charlie 3.
Can I tell you guys what I'm DJing into?
Charlie
Okay,
3.
this
I'm
is the
buying
next-
more.
This is the next